All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this varsity volleyball game with Calvert Hall facing off against your Loyola Dons.
All right, I'm Matt Smolka standing alongside Jay Petoskey, and welcome to Loyola Blakefield. This is going to be a thrilling matchup. The Dons coming with a record of 8-1, facing off against their longtime rivals, the Calvert Hall Cardinals, 8-2. Jay, as you know, both teams have won their last 6 games. Their first meeting was the first game of the season. The Dons beat the Dons beat Calvert Hall 3-1 at the Cardinals' home gym. The first point of action is underway, and it's a point for the Cardinals.
These two teams both have looked very strong in their seasons so far, both starting out with incredible records and facing off against each other for the second time this season already.
Calvert Hall's Michael Green serves, now Rogers. Dorsey sets. Mosbauer, that's a point for the Dons. 1-1, scoreline's leveled. We're getting started a little early here tonight, but the Dons student section is in full support here. We got a full section of Dons with the business on top, party on the bottom theme. Tucker Moore with the service. Bump be Lavelle. Dorsey sets. Mosbauer again. Green got a hand to it. Cardinals can't keep it up.
And Mosbauer with the spike there.
You can see Kirk Mosbauer, number 12, one of the Dons' captains, an imposing figure on that front line. Lavelle with the bump. That was Cummings, got a hand to it. Now Rogers, Dorsey sets Connolly. The big spike, that's number 14, James Connolly with the big right hand. The Dons go up 3-1.
Connolly, very, very massive young man, able to get a hand in there.
Moore. Now for the fourth time, Lavelle. Good IQ play there by Lavelle, number 18, the Cardinals senior. Quickly able to tap it over the left hand. Dons were caught on the flat foot there. It is Pat Lavelle with the service. Connolly now. Dorsey sets. Back to Connolly. Connolly's soft hand. Lavelle. Green bumping it up. And point for the Dons. As that was number 16, Jack Elliott, who I believe hit it out. 4-2 the score. And as I was saying, Jay, the Dons won 3-1 at Calvert Hall in what was probably the biggest, one of the biggest games of the season for them in the season opener, no less. Now Huffman. Moore with a good stop now. Back to Connolly.
Yeah, opening a season with a huge rivalry like this is definitely something that you like to go into just to get the season started. And especially coming out with a win, you get so much, just set emotion for the rest of the season. And you can see that with them starting 7-1.
Not only have the Dons, that's a big hit there by Elliott, but it will be out. And not only is this just a rivalry between Loyola and Calvert Hall, Jay, but especially given these teams' records, with playoff implications really in the race now. We're late in the season. This is a huge game for both teams. Calvert Hall's looking for some revenge, and that is going to be an ace from Mosbauer.
And that ace. Hall looking for an out call there. Didn't get one. Both these teams already just look incredibly strong, incredibly tough, incredibly
now
vigilant.
Lavelle. Elliott. Point for the Cardinals. Connolly got a hand to it. Couldn't direct it back onto the that Calvert Hall side. As we see number 10 for the Cardinals, Finn Gaudreau, the senior, will enter in place of Patrick Droney. Down student section making its presence known on the serve from Elliott. Elliott, now Rogers. Dorsey sets, and that's a point. Dons, Ethan Cohen, the junior, with a big hit from center. Dons take a pretty strong 8-3 lead here early in this one.
Dons taking that strong lead with so much emotion already, starting ramped up. This is game already starting off at a strong point.
It'll be number 2, Jack Webb to serve for the Dons. He's the besides Cohen and Cummings, one of a few juniors who sees some significant playing time. Rogers lays that one out. Now Connolly pumps it up. Monahan over Huffman, misses that that set, but still get now Monahan and Cohen. 9-3 for the Dons.
This game already looking like it's in Don's favor. This home field advantage with this student section is definitely something you strive for as a Don's team.
Green, Lavelle now sets Gaudreau with a big hit. Now Gaudreau not terribly tall. That was hit with some power from the corner. Checking in for the Cardinals here, number 13, Matt Bald. That'll be out. Connolly. Jay, just going back a little bit to these two teams. These two teams have 2 combined losses between them. And both the Dons' only loss and one of Calvert Hall's losses. Now it's a great play by the Cardinals to keep it up. I'll get right back to that in just a second. Now here's Connolly once again. Monahan keeps it alive. Now Moore. Infraction called. Cardinals point. As I was saying, Jay, both these teams' loss has been to the current number 1 in the standings, Mount St. Joe. So the Dons lost to Mount St. Joe 3-1 away early in the season. Cardinals lost 3-2 at home. So as the standings have it right now, it is Dons 2, Calvert Hall 3. And Mount St. Joe is in the 1 spot currently, but both these teams are jockeying for that 2, potentially the 1 place if they can knock off Mount St. Joe later in the season.
Yeah, this spot definitely looks like this game will be so influential to that number 2 spot. And the tiebreaker here would be something that both these teams are striving for right now, especially this late in the season. So to beat either one of these teams getting the win here would push momentum into that last game against Mount St. Joe.
Ferocious serve off the net. Elliott keeps it in. Lavelle takes command. Monahan. Cohen with a little bump. Lavelle back over. Great job of the Dons to keep it up. Monahan. Now Green. Lavelle will set it. That is well high.
Don's strategy here looking incredible with their communication. Cohen going up for a fake spike there, setting up. It looked like Tucker Moore for a good set.
There's Connolly. He's got that ferocious. Not there. I was saying Connolly can have a ferocious little serve, hit with power in topspin.
Yeah, his serves normally have a lot of topspin. It looked like he got the best of him there as he put too much spin on it and put it straight into the net.
Gardner with the serve. That'll be set. More off the net, and now Cardinals on a little bit of a rally here, Jay. The Dons were winning 9-4. It's now 11-9. Calvert Hall seems to be swinging back with some of the momentum.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting momentum off these serves here. Definitely something you don't like to see if you're in favor of the Dons, but
Monahan, great play by Monahan there, as the red-headed setter just fakes Calvert Hall, puts the ball over with that left hand.
Yeah, that soft touch there, just putting the ball over the net.
Gardner, Lavelle tries the same move. Doesn't work out for him. Lavelle's first spike. And Gaudreau with a big spike.
And the big right hand there, able to drop the ball in. After the start of this game, it's looking like it will be a very even game so far, at least.
Soft service, little clip off the net now. Webb, Monahan. Don's point, 13-10, Jay.
Yeah, 13-10. Score looking close, game looking close. Both these teams with high emotion.
Number 4, Michael Dorsey, one of the Don's captains, along with Connolly and Mosbauer. He'll be with the service. Little knuckling serve. Droney gets enough on it. Now Lavelle the bump. Elliott. Soft hand. Moore. That is out. Unfortunate for the Dons. Moore with the great hustle play diving to the floor. Green. Now Rogers. Dorsey. Mosebauer. Big hit. Great play by Green to send it back. Cummings into the net. Calvert Hall's pulled back within one.
Yeah, Calvert Hall showing speed there, with Green able to set up in the corner after getting that serve off.
Yep. Now Michael Green clearly been an influential factor here for Calvert Hall, as now the Hall student section starting to come out in full support. Game did start a little bit early. There's a brief pause here as the referees explain something to the scorers table. Now Green will resume play here. Moore. Dorsey. Mosebauer. Green once again. Now Lavelle. Far side. Elliott. And the Cardinals have tied it. Great play there by the Cardinals. They've now pulled the game back. They were down by 5 at one point. We're now all square here at 13 apiece in this first set.
In this first game, looking like it's taking a turn towards the Hall, as the Cardinals, Green able to get 3 serves off.
That one will be well out, and perhaps the run ends. But yeah, Jay, certainly Michael Green has been a very influential factor in this game. Droney now Lavelle at the set. Bump by Moore. Cummings over. Green takes a man. Now Lavelle over. Elliott with a big hit, but it's blocked. Nick Cummings, the junior. Huge block. Don's back with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, Nick Cummings with his positioning there. Huge advantage there with his positioning. Able to set up above the net.
Moore. Lavelle, soft serve. Excuse me, now set. Now Connolly, the big set. Lavelle. Elliott. And it's the Cardinals' point. Looked like that one deflected off of maybe Dorsey or Cummings. Either way, it's been neck and neck here in this first set. Mosebauer soft, didn't quite fool him that time. Now Huffman the long set. Elliott. And that's in. We're tied back up at 15 apiece. Jack Elliott using his height, rising above the net. The big overhand hit from the outside. That's been an effective strategy the Dons have seen. As we've seen, that time came from Huffman. We've seen Lavelle with the set most of the time.
Yeah, and with that much height, you're able to get a great
Cummings
spike.
Nearly into the stands. Now Connolly the bump. That'll be just out.
Yeah, and as I was saying, with that much height, you're able to get such good vision on your spikes that you're able to just see where you need to put the ball.
The Hall now leads for the first time in this first set, 16-15. That one's that's off the roof, and it looked like Calvert Hall was a little bit confused. Based on the referee's reaction, I do believe, and off my experience last year, I believe that anything off the roof, you play it as it bounces off. So that was live as it came down. It's the Don's point. Now tied back up. Mosebauer the serve. Green goes to ground for the dig. Now Huffman back to Green. Dons have the advantage. They'll be able to set this one up. Dorsey back. Cummings. Huffman couldn't quite get enough on the block. Don's point, 17-16.
Yeah, Cummings with the spike there. Just a change of timing there for the Dons as they had the advantage.
Yeah, well done by Dorsey to set that one up back behind him. Only Huffman was there on that far side. Mosebauer. Lavelle, the one-handed set. Connolly's there, and Lavelle's set was too far over the net. Connolly with 2 hands over the net. Mosbauer with the service once again. Lavelle with the set. Huffman. Big spike. The Hall has been back and forth. Jay, other than that early lead the Dons held, neither team has gone up by more than 1 or 2. As Gaudreau checks back in for Droney.
After that lead got closed out by the Hall, it looked like the Cardinals just got back and forth with the Dons, able to keep the score within 2 or 1, as you said.
Dorsey sets it for Connolly from the outside. Connolly, a powerful smash, and that will be the Dons' point. James Connolly, he has gotten some real power on those hits.
Yeah, showing that left hand there, able to get that spike in.
Jack Webb here to serve. The Dons up 2. Lavelle over Gaudreau. Tipped and blocked down at the line. I think that was Cohen who got the block. Now the Dons take a 3-point lead. Timeout, Calvert Hall.
And now that lead finally going up.
Talk it over a little bit as we present our first Loyola Blakefield corporate partner, which is the Loyola University Jesuit community. So we'd like to take a moment to recognize one of our few corporate sponsors. That is the Jesuit community of Loyola University, Maryland, which shares in the mission of the Worldwide Society of Jesus. This mission includes the service of faith and the promotion of justice in dialogue with cultures and with other religions. So these values characterize its commitment to the educational apostolate at Loyola University, Loyola Blakefield, Cristo Rey, and St. Ignatius Academy in Baltimore. And that, of course, goes for any Jesuit institution, including all those Loyola universities that are not only in the country but around the globe. So now with just a few more seconds remaining this timeout, Jay, what has been your impression of this first set?
Well, the first set so far, it looked like at first Loyola had the advantage going up by 4 or 5, and then after that they were able to kind of keep the pace going a little bit, but the Cardinals just looked like they had the pace set back and were able to get advantages with Green's serves.
Now as Green's bump off the antenna, Dons take a 4-point lead. That's big now. Dons halfway. As you know, each set is played to 25, so Dons will be now halfway there. Now only need half as many points as Calvert Hall to reach that end goal. 25, the big number. Out, says the sideline official. 22-17.
And now only needing 3 to complete the set here. We'll see if Hall has some sort of response.
It seems as if Calvert Hall's gone a little bit flat coming out of the timeout. Dons with playing a little bit more energy now. Gaudreau, not much he can do with that one. Softly over the neck. Now Connolly looking for the big kill. Green able to keep it up. Now Elliott off the net. Monahan will keep it up. Long point here. Green got something to that off Moore. It's the point for the Hall. So Calvert Hall wins that long sequence.
And long sequence put the Hall at the advantage there. And so now they have momentum going into these final few points.
Number 17, Joey Schuerman to serve. Rogers. Cohen. The big spike. Elliott got hands to it, couldn't do anything with it.
Side judge rules that out.
And an interesting fact to know, though, Jay, is that the Dons, I mentioned earlier, the Dons had won their last 6 games. In those 6 games, they have not dropped a set. They've won all 6, 3-0. They're looking to continue the trend as Gaudreau with the left hand over. Connolly, Rogers, a little miscommunication. Not enough for Moore to get it over.
Yeah, and the last set that they lost was actually in their loss against Mount St. Joe. So in that 6-0 run, they haven't dropped a set. And with that, we'll see how that momentum plays into this game.
And I should say that in Calvert Hall's last 6 games, they have won all 6 and have not dropped more than 1 set in any of them. So certainly you have 2 impressive teams here. Cohen rising high. That's a beautiful spike. Nothing that Gardner could have done to get to that one. It's now set point here for the Dons. Rogers to serve. Lavelle balled, and that's the set. Dons win the first set, 25-19. So, Jay, Dons, as the Dons roll chant breaks out, Jay and I will take a short break. We'll be back to you with all the action of the second set. Dons up 1-0. Folks, stay tuned. This is going to be a thriller. All right, folks, welcome back to the second set of Loyola Blakefield Calvert Hall varsity volleyball matchup. John's leading 1-0. They took the first set 25-19. I'm Matt Smolka sitting alongside Jay Petoskey as we bring to you all the action. Jay, give us a little recap of that first set.
So that first set, it started off with the Dons going up, I believe it was 9-4, and then they kind of had a back and forth with the Hall, just going back and forth, up by 1, down by 1, up by 2, down by 2, and it went back and forth, and it was very, very close up until the very end there, where Loyola got their momentum back and went up.
Yeah, and just coming, towards that end of that first set, it seemed the Cardinals had lost some energy. They did make a comeback. They were leading by 2 at least at one point, but then the Dons gritted through, took that first set. Some huge plays made by Ethan Cohen for the Dons. In addition, we also saw a lot of action from Connolly, Mosbauer, Tucker Moore. We had some nice plays from Dorsey Monahan as well in terms of setting the volleyball. On the Cardinal side, obviously we had some big hits from Jack Elliott. He's clearly one player to watch. Setter, Pat Lavelle, Michael Green with some nice digs for the Hall. But it seems the Dons were just the better team here. As we're waiting to resume.
Seeing that first set, it looked like that timeout that the Cardinals took didn't actually play to their advantage at all, as the student section kind of just nulled out any thinking over they had to do.
We are underway here in the second set. Dorsey, Mosbauer, soft little dink over the net, not enough. Elliott, Connolly sets it, might have gotten away with a double touch there. But it's Moore with the hit. Don's point deflected out by Matt Bald. Number 4, Michael Dorsey to serve here for the Dons. Elliott softly over. Dorsey over the set. Cummings, a big hit. Dons 2-0. Great play there by Nick Cummings. And he, alongside with Ethan Cohen, 2 juniors who have made a huge impact, not just this year, but also got some significant playing time last year as sophomores.
Yeah, these 2 guys, just incredible skill they have in front of the net there.
Lavelle setting it back. Good play there by Lavelle and a big hit by, that was either Bald or Elliott. Now it's Green in the red and yellow libero shirt of the Cardinals. A little bounce for the serve. And over the net, Connolly with a bump. Dorsey. Ooh. Cummings and Mosberg getting a little fancy there. Elliott, raw power, puts it past Connolly. I think he probably should have gone for the bump rather than with his hands up.
Yeah, low set there, trying to just get the ball. He was trying to stop that power. It didn't really pay off for him, though.
Dorsey sets. Poor set there from Dorsey. His first mistake really he's made all game, as that set was too far for Cummings to get to. Cardinals back in the lead. Mosbauer. Cardinals keep it up.
Look where he hit the floor there. Side judge rules that it did. And we're back even, 3-3.
Yeah, I thought Cardinals did manage to keep it up. I believe the referee may have called it did hit the floor, which is what I was thinking. But a number of Cardinals laid out for it.
Yeah, it looked like they might have just been able to get a hand underneath it, but it looked like as they hit it, it slid and hit the floor.
More at the serve. Elliott. Mosbauer and Cummings were there, but not able to redirect the block.
And Cardinals back in the lead.
Lavelle with the service. Moore. Dorsey bumps it up to Connolly. Yeah, and that's off the net. Connolly couldn't quite get it over the net. He wasn't quite in his favored close to the net high hitting position that he prefers. Lavelle the service off the net. Not much Dons could have done there. Chance the Cardinals go up by 3. They won't do that as Elliott right back into the net.
And we haven't seen the Cardinals go up by more than 2 in this game.
Both student sections engaging in a little back and forth chant. Cardinals now take the lead by 2 here in the second set. Elliott to serve. Elliott the service, and that is just out.
And we're back almost even here. Cardinals up by 1, 6-5.
Now Jack Webb, the junior, to serve. Green, now Lavelle. That was Schuerman, who got it off of Rogers.
And a heavy back and forth here, as Cardinals keeping the lead, but not able to go up by more than 2.
Knuckling serve now. Monahan sets it. Cohen. And Cohen's in. That was Lavelle who got a hand to it. Might have been going out. I couldn't quite tell from our angle. We're down here by the near left corner. Connolly's top spinning serve. Just too much power on it. It did have a significant dip to it.
Yeah, his serves normally have a lot of top spin, able to just get the ball right behind him and drop it in. But unfortunately, that time it was out.
It's in. Connolly with a kill off the bump set from Monahan. And that's just once again proving what an impact the senior captain can have for the Dons on the court with some big hits. Serve from Rogers off the net here. Great play there by Connolly to lay out for it. Don's protesting. It's still their point. Don's protesting that that is not touched, and I think I agree with Coach Bayer. Luckily, Don's win the point, level score 8 apiece here in the second set.
This is the first time it's been level since 3-3.
And good play there by the Dons. Moore over the net, both hands. Rogers lays out for it. Great play. Mosbauer tips it. It's going to be just long, though. Good hustle by the Dons.
Showing really strong communication there. Rogers able to get a hand on it.
It's in. Good play there by Mosbauer with the left hand. A little dink over the net and down onto that far corner.
And Jack Webb able to return that serve.
Now Dorsey with the serve, 9-all. Green gets a bump. Lavelle. Great play by Ball there. Don's no coverage in the center of the floor. Now here's Green. Now Rogers. It's tip. Mosbauer. Smart there, knocking right back over, but that'll be Lavelle. Setting it. Elliott, the big hit. Stays in. Lavelle. It's out. Back and forth, Jay. We've been saying back and forth.
Back and forth,
no team has led by more than 2 in this second set. Scores now 10 apiece. We've gone 8-all, 9-all, 10-all.
And these student sections just going back and forth as well.
That'll be the Dons point. A little miscommunication there by the Cardinals. As that was both Schuerman and Elliott rolling up for that.
And the Dons taking the lead for the first time in a little while.
Moore now his second serve. Lavelle long set to the far side. He'll be called. Lavelle looks a little perplexed there, just looking at that head referee.
Dons up by 2 now.
Moore, knuckling, dipping serve. Lavelle will bump it up. Elliott knocking over now Rogers. Dorsey over the head for Cummings. Hall's going to try and keep it in. They clear the bench. Good rally here. Dorsey over. Connolly, and blocked down by Lavelle. Good play there by the blonde number 18 for the Cardinals. Denying Connolly another big kill. Now Lavelle. The Dons up 1 to serve. That'll be out. Too much on it. Wasn't really that close.
Yeah, just a tad bit too much power.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of adrenaline after that big block.
Definitely.
And that was Mosbauer who got the left hand to it, blocked it down. Now Dons take a 3-point lead here in the second set.
First time we've seen a 3-point lead in this entire set. See Mosbauer get ready for the serve.
Yeah, brief pause. Mosbauer stops side of the shoe now. We'll resume play. Ooh, little knuckle serve. Confused Green for a moment. Hall will recover. Lavelle over. Lavelle now called for the second time for that double touch. As we see the crowd really starting to fill in here, Jay. We did get started. And timeout. Calvert Hall with the Dons up 4. Welcome back, folks. We're back underway here with Lavelle. The set, Elliott. Blocked down by Connolly. Don's momentum continues. They're now 5 up.
And we saw that in the first set, that after these timeouts, that it just pushes the momentum back towards the Dons because their student section is just so loud. And we did see
Dons do have the student section advantage. Ooh. Connolly softly over. Lavelle will be able to get to it. Huffman. Connolly keeps it in. Ooh, that's a big hit. Excuse me, that was Cummings who kept it in. Now Connolly went for the big hit going for that corner. It didn't come off for him that time.
And as I was saying, this head referee actually had to talk to both student sections because of the noise. Talking to them about how they can't rule out any name or number towards any player.
Connolly up, more over. Now Lavelle sets. That'll be a point for the Cardinals.
And this lead cut to 3 here.
Dorsey up for Cummings.
Point for the Dons.
Yeah, it's once again Lavelle. Call for the infraction. Webb to serve.
Green on the return.
And blocked right back down by Cohen. As I said here, Jay, towards the end of these sets, we're seeing the Cardinals falling a little bit flat. Have been back and forth in the middle of the sets, but appears over the long run, the Dons' superiority is really starting to show. They have a 4-point lead here late in the second set, and it was about this time when they pulled away in the first set as well to win 25-19 in that first set.
Yeah, and we see with these sets that the Dons just showing a little bit more endurance, able to keep the momentum up.
Great play there by the Dons to keep it up as Rogers goes over, and yeah, that'll be a double touch on Rogers. Unfortunate end to a great point.
A great point back and forth. Both Cardinals and Dons showing power there.
Monahan said it's too far for Connolly to reach. Now now Cardinals creeping back into it now and just 2 points behind.
Cutting that lead there, yeah.
It's important here for the Dons to stop the bleeding, get a point or two, and put themselves back with a considerable lead. And that's a great play there by Monahan. So once again, we've seen Monahan with a little fake set, bump over with the left hand.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times here. A couple times in this set, a couple times in the last set.
Now it'll be up to James Connolly, who tends to favor the big topspin service. And Monahan throws it back. 2016 Dons. And now we see number 18, Patrick Lavelle, getting called over by the head referee for a little word. Good set there by Lavelle. Powerful hit by Gaudreau. It's too far, though.
And we see that topspin serve, so much topspin on it, in fact, that it hit the net and then went over.
Yep, Connolly will continue serving. It certainly is a hard serve to return. That one will be just long, though.
And with his service, he actually hits it up when he hits it, and then the topspin just so heavy on it that it brings it straight back down to the court.
Number 3, Justin Gardner, to serve here for the Cardinals. Little low knuckler. Monahan keeps it up. Cohen over. Point for the Cardinals. Now Moore up. Connolly too far again. Connolly might need to dampen the power just a little bit in certain scenarios, just like this one when he's not able to elevate as much. Not too much power is just going to put it long. Big hit there by Moore. Connolly now setting it back. Now Monahan right back for himself off the net. Calvert Hall back within 1. And Coach Bayer will call for the timeout. Justin, yeah, we're going to go to our next corporate partner, which is going to be Atlantic Caterers. So Atlantic Caterers is a family-owned and operated business that has ties with the Archdiocese of Baltimore since 1963, and they're proudly part of the time-honored tradition that are the root of Loyola Blakefield's success. You can contact Atlantic Caterers for your next event at 410-254-6662, or you can visit their website, atlanticcaterers.com. So, Jay, 21-20 here in the second set. What do the Dons need to do to close it out like they did in the first set?
I think keeping up that momentum that they had in the first set, the way that they had such a great coordination and such great communication, able to just get the ball moving, able to get some good.
Right, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the Dons have played the cleaner game here. They've also had some big plays as we get back underway. Gardner serving once more. Monahan over for Moore. Don's point. That's a big point there. Tucker Moore showing his versatility. He's played some on that back line. He's played some up front on the outside as a hitter. Now Rogers. A little miscommunication. Elliott and Green. Elliott over. And that's Moore once again up with the block. As the Dons creep within 2 of taking that second set.
Yeah, Moore and Connolly have been 2 great players in this last half of this second set.
Rogers now back over. Monahan setting it up. Mosbauer. Hall trying to keep it up. Don's point now, set point here as it looks like a 2-0 lead. And that looking to keep that streak extended of I believe they've won their last 18 consecutive sets. Jay, that's pretty impressive.
Well, 19 now if you include.
That's true. Mosbauer, soft left hand, tried to get it to fall. And that's Dons take the second set, 25-20. They close it out in good fashion, just as the first. The Dons now take a 2-0 set lead. They extend. That may be a school record, Jay. They extend with their win, their 20th consecutive set won. We'll take a short break. We'll be back to you for the third set. Don looks to close it out here against Calvert Hall. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Loyola Blakefield Calvert Hall Volleyball. Dons leading 2-0. They won the first set 25-19, second set 25-20. We'd also like to recognize our third corporate partner at this time, which is the First National Bank. First National Bank believes that the local communities are the lifeblood of the markets that they serve. So their involvement with Loyola and the athletics program, which is a small way they give back to local communities. You can stop by their closest branch in Towson at 1 West Pennsylvania Avenue, which are any of their other branches in Baltimore, Harford, and Howard counties. You can also visit them at www.fnb-online.com. And the First National Bank is a member FDIC. So, folks, welcome back to the third set. Jay, what are we looking to expect from this third set?
I think we're going to see another back and forth, if it's any key as to what we've seen so far. Both these sets that we saw earlier were back and forth, back and forth.
Back underway.
And the Dons able to just get an opening.
Now some disagreement here between the coaches. Looked like that serve went over untouched. The referees are saying it tipped off a Cardinal. Calvert Hall's head coach, that's Ryan McDowell, very, very unhappy with that.
And they do call it a touch, and it's Loyola's point here.
Yep. I think that might have been lucky. I'm not sure that hit off of a Calvert Hall player. Elliott. The block just out.
Now you see a 1-1 score in this third set.
Now Michael Green, the service for Calvert Hall. Calvert Hall's point. Riders, I couldn't quite that bump. Bump was just a little bit too far. Easy tap down for Calvert Hall.
We'll see Green serve.
Dorsey over. Cummings. Don's point. Lavelle couldn't get quite enough on the block. That's going to be Droney with the miss set there.
Just off of Droney's fingertips.
Yeah. As you might want to point out that Calvert Hall going, the whole team going with the all-white shoes for that look. Droney nearly does it again. Gardner's able to knock it over for Elliott. Don's the chance to set now. Mosbauer blasting one down. Green and Droney combined could not keep it up.
That's a big point there for Loyola. Up by 2 now. And we'll see a lot of emotion here in this last set. Or third set, excuse me.
And Droney, once again, not able to bump that one up. And I just noticed, Jay, the Calvert Hall sort of switched on these returns to a little 2-3-1. They've got Lavelle and Schuenberg in the Schuenman in the front court.
Yeah,
along with 3, and then Droney all the way in the back now as Lavelle sets it up for Schuerman. The block, great job by Droney to lay out and keep it up. Connolly, the big hit. Elliott. Now back for Elliott. It's out. Calvert Hall point.
And Hall honestly deserves that point. They're the way that they just stretched out to get that point back.
Connolly now, Dorsey. Tipped off Calvert Hall player. Connolly tries again. Green, great set there. Back for Elliott. Connolly misses that one. Good recovery by Moore. Dorsey over. Lavelle. Stay back for Huffman. Great point here as Mosbauer looks to keep it.
Dorsey keeps it up.
Rogers can't do much with that for Moore. Point continues. Calvert Hall point. That was a double touch there on Moore, I believe.
It looked like it could have been a fourth touch there.
Connolly on the far side. Yep, that was right into the net. Scored line now tied at 5 apiece.
Hall getting momentum back in his third set.
Lavelle serve out on that right side.
And that serve will ruin the momentum as 3 points in a row will now turn back in the favor of the Dons.
Cohen now on for Rogers. The Dons with 3 big hitters up in the front court. Got Moore, and Mosbauer as well. Mosbauer's serve is right into the net. Unfortunate for him. Jack Elliott, the big man to serve for Calvert Hall. Well high. He's certainly in his fair share of kills today, though.
Yeah, we've seen him get a fair few amount of points. We have seen now 3 serves go out in a row. 2 into the net and 1 straight out.
Yeah, and that might just be perhaps a little bit of fatigue here, Jay. As we enter in this third set, Webb, that one serve just clears the net. Lavelle sets it back. Huffman. Good play. We've seen some flashes from number 11. That is Olin Huffman. Webb. Monahan. Connolly. Good block there by Bald. They'll try it again. And another time, Matt Bald. 2 blocks in a row. The second one does the trick.
And Hall will have the first lead of this set, up 8-7.
Ooh, low liner there from Luke Downs. First action we've seen from him. Good job there by Moore to keep that one in. Rogers sets it up. Monahan bumps it over. Hall. And Bald gets the kill. Energetic. Certainly a lot of passion out there from 13 in the red, white, and gold.
Motion here running high in this third set. Hall just trying to get.
Downs, another low liner. That'll be out. Certainly a tricky serve to handle if it's in. He'll check out as number 8, the libero, Michael Green, onto the court.
Yeah, we did see a low-lying knuckler there.
Lavelle going all out for it. You love the hustle. Yeah, can't keep that one up. The block came right down at the chest of Green.
Yeah, a lot of hustle there. A lot of energy trying to keep that ball up. We do see back even now at 9.
Conley with the serve, Elliott. Lavelle sets it back. Huffman. Rogers lays it out. Great play there by Rogers. But Calvert Hall still wins the point. Now Huffman checks out. Number 3, Justin Gardner, the senior, with the service here for the Hall. Gardner knocks it up. Elliott. Good draw over the little topspin. Now Monahan tries that little left-hand trick. It works for him again. Great play by Dylan Monahan, the senior.
We see this back and forth here. Again, back tied at 10. And third set is playing just like the last 2.
Monahan. Mosbauer. It's in! On the line, Kirk Mosbauer with a great kill for the Dons.
Dons have the lead again. First time in a few points.
Right. Don's looking to close it out in straight sets for the 7th game in a row. Rogers serve. Elliott now. Lavelle back to Gaudreau that time.
Don's up by 2 now.
Hall point, not quite sure what that was about though, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either. Looks like infraction called.
Now it's Patrick Droney to serve for the Hall. That's out.
Back even again.
And Jay, that's a trend that we've seen throughout this game. We saw back and forth early in the first and second sets, but in both sets of Don just had enough to pull away at the end. Connolly just long on that one.
Yeah, and in these sets, we've seen the back and forth, but we'll see if the Cardinals actually make a change here for this set, or if the Dons will be able to keep that streak up.
Connolly hit with some power. Droney left reeling. Elliott, big hit, but it's out. You can see him just gnawing on that jersey. Clearly thought he had that one. No Dons were over there on that near side. Droney mishandles another set. Elliott over. Roger, now Dorsey sets it up. Connolly. Green, good job to keep it up. And over by Gardner. Mosebauer can't get enough of a hit on it. Set up for Elliott. Mosebauer over with one hand. And ball the big kill.
A big point there. Goes in Hall's favor.
Lavelle using everything at his disposal, but he did. It was a double touch. Hit it with the hand, then the foot. As the referee's explaining to him, quick reflexes though. I'll tell you that, Jay.
Definitely quick reflexes there.
Don serve into the net.
It looked like emotion there too. He got somewhat confused. And getting somewhat confused there as he kind of just instant reflex tried to kick it.
Lavelle. It is going to be in. Moore let it go. Looked like he thought he was going to be out. Must have just caught the line. Calvert Hall now takes a 16-15 lead in this third set. Rogers, poor play there. His first mistake all night. Otherwise, a solid game.
Just misplayed it there a little bit. Took it off the right forearm.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Jay. He'll leave it for Connolly this time. Now Dorsey back to Connolly on this near side. Tipped. Little frustration here from Calvert Hall.
Yeah, they had a little bit of the lead there. Now it's cut back even, almost 16-17. And now we see it go back even. 17-17, and Don's showing a lot of energy here.
Lavelle, Huffman, good block there by a combination of Cohen and Cummings. Now, Elliott, great play there, softly over with the right hand.
And Elliott using his height again for vision, able to get a soft set over instead of a spike.
Overall now up 18-17 here in this third set. Jack Elliott to serve. Cummings hard, but into the net. Now Calvert takes a 19-17 lead. They're looking maybe to win this third set. And it's crucial here. Crucial, Jay, the Dons do not allow the Cardinals back into this game because once they win this, if the Cardinals win this third set, then goes back to a fourth, and easily with a momentum swing could put things in the Cardinals' favor. Not that time, though, with Ethan Cohen rising high and slamming that one home.
Cohen getting straight over the net, slamming it down. And yeah, if Hall does get momentum here, we've seen fatigue in this in this third set. So going into a fourth would be something that the Dons don't want to see, as they would be on the back foot.
Connolly, good stop there by Elliott as Lavelle set it up. Good draw, but it's blocked down by Cumming and Monahan.
Cummings and Monahan able to get hands up and just send it right back down.
Yeah, and also negates that great play there by Elliott. Will knock ferocious hit from now Connolly trying to knock that one up. Lavelle will serve it back. Huffman can't do anything with it. The serve was too far over.
The set
was too far over. Timeout, Calvert Hall. Let's take this moment to recognize our fourth corporate partner, which is Home Paramount Pest Control. Home Paramount Pest Control is the premier pest control and pest management company in Maryland. Home Paramount Pest Control offers effective and reliable termite, pest, and moisture control services for residential and commercial customers throughout Maryland. You can contact your Baltimore pest experts today, schedule a free home inspection, and choose the pest management program that will work for you. You can dial them toll-free at 1-888-888-HOME. That's HOME. So thank you to them for supporting us here at Loyola Sports Network and Loyola Blakefield in general as we return back to this intense third set. Don's looking to close it out 3-0 against Calvert Hall and put them to 21 consecutive sets won on the season, which I'll have to look, Jay. That may or may not be anything of his school or MIAA record. I really I don't have a sense of that. I'll have to look up that after the game. Both student sections have really gotten into it, especially as we get late into these sets. And that momentum's been crucial in helping the Dons swing things back into their favor. Now back up 1 point here in this third set.
Yeah, up 1 point, and with so much on the line here, as they try and keep the momentum back even now at 20, with just 5 points for both these teams. We'll see how the momentum swings after this timeout. We've seen the last two sets, once the Hall call a timeout, that the Dons get on a roll.
Downs here, the serve. Dons a little mishap, more able to get it over though as Lavelle will set it up. Balled, deflection, and Rogers just slips through his hands. Unfortunate there.
Looked like he lost his footing there a little bit. Not able to get under it.
Calvert Hall now takes the lead. More points than they've had in a set. Webb does all he can to get something on it. Lavelle sets it back for Huffman. Huffman, a big kill. Calvert Hall now leads 22-20. This is more points they've had, Jay. As you know, the Dons won the first set 25-19, second set 25-20. Now Calvert Hall here takes a big 22-20 lead. First time the Dons have been put in this position all night. Momentum possibly swinging back the Cardinals' way. That's something the Dons certainly don't want to allow. Stop here is big. Webb goes to ground to save that one. Gaudreau sets it up. Lavelle. And it Cardinals point. Cardinals point. Another timeout for Loyola.
And up by 3 here. We'll see.
Yep. The Cardinals have surged back here late in this third set to take a 23-20 lead. Folks, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back to you. All right, folks, we're back to you after that short break. Calvert Hall leads this third set 23-20. The Dons taking the first 2 sets. Downs to serve. Monahan. Rogers over. Point here for Calvert Hall. We'll put him at set point. Big block there from Connolly. Balled Webb over with one hand. Connolly now over. Lavelle with a good save with that one hand. And Cohen too soft there. Balled with the block. Hall now at set point.
And Luke Downs leading this set for these last couple of points.
And also number 13, Matt Ball, has had a great game. Some huge kills and blocks for the Cardinals. It's Moore over. Hall to win the set. Gaudreau. And Calvert Hall has won the third set 25-20. That also snaps the Dons streak of consecutive sets won. So that streak is over. Until this set, the Dons had won their previous 20 sets. That is 6 wins of 3-0. However, in this game, it will not be. We go to the 4th set. Calvert Hall Loyola. We'll be right back to you with all the action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Loyola Blakefield Calvert Hall Volleyball. This game is getting intense here. Dons lost that third set 25-20. They won the first set 25-19, the second set 25-20. However, we would like, before the second set gets underway, we'd like to recognize our final Loyola Blakefield corporate partner, which is 1-800-GOT-JUNK, which is the world's largest junk removal service. They make the ordinary business of junk removal exceptional by sending a team of 2 friendly and capable pros who will do all the removal from anywhere, inside or out. They also finish up with a thorough broom cleaning. And up to 60% of the items they collect are donate or recycled. And if you call before 2 p.m., they guarantee same-day service within 90 minutes of your call. So from one item or many truckloads, nothing is too much to ask of those professionals. You can stop stirring that junk pile. Call them today. They're available 7 days a week until midnight. So if that's something you need, you can certainly call 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And folks, we'll now return to the game. Loyola 2 sets, Calvert Hall 1 set. We're into the 4th set here. Here's a service. Cummings, now Dorsey with the set. Lavelle up, balled. A kill, Calvert Hall. First point of the 4th set. Momentum has swung back their way.
And this is exactly what Dons would have been worried about in that 3rd set, is Calvert Hall getting some momentum off that win.
Mosbauer able to get enough, balled. Connolly, it's out. Unfortunate here, Jay. You can sort of sense the scales might be tipping slightly.
Yeah, part of that could be definitely due to the fatigue.
Don's not been playing up to their up to the level they did in the first 2 sets. Ow! That was Moore with a huge kill there, slamming that one home.
We'll see Dorsey here with serve.
Dorsey serves, balled, can't get anything on it. Dons win the point.
All back even now.
So Dorsey will serve here. And the Dons have mostly kept the same players in this game. Lavelle, long setup. Elliott, big block there by Cummings and Mosbauer. Great job to lay out for it. That's not going to be enough. Now Green to serve for the Cardinals.
And we saw Mosbauer's attempt at the block there. And he just tried to keep it somewhat in Don's possession. Trying to block that power, trying to block the speed of the ball.
Slight delay here as the court just wiped to avoid any slippage. Now Green on the service here for the Cardinals. Moore, Dorsey with the set. Mosbauer, big hit. Don's back in the lead. Moore service is out.
Back even at 4.
Dorsey with a long run now. Rogers over. Hoffman sets it up. Elliott going for that back corner. The Don's point though, he's called for the infraction. Mosbauer on the serve. Green. Blocked by Connolly at the net. Don's point now. Once again, Calvert Hall.
Another infraction.
Yes, second call against them in a row.
See it, Don's taking 2-point lead in the set.
That hit will be out. Don's point once again. Calvert Hall just slipping a bit on the fundamentals here, and late in this, early in this 4th set. Mosbauer. Lavelle, short set. Dorsey lunging forward now. Moore will set it up. Cummings. This time it's him who's called on that.
Commons called an infraction. It's going to be 7-5.
Mosebauer will get a quick breather here. Elliott over Moore. Dorsey sets it up. Cohen. Lavelle got enough on it for Elliott. Now Green over Dorsey. Cohen again. Too much power that time for Lavelle. He'll knock it home, make the score 8-5 in this fourth set.
Don's up by 3 now. In this fourth set, trying to get as much momentum as they can. Trying to come off of that lost set against Hall.
Lavelle sets it up. Gaudreau. It was over by Moore, but not enough. That was too big of a hit from Gaudreau for him to handle.
Rogers able to keep it up.
Monahan, as Moore bumps it up. Connolly. He's over Lavelle. Gaudreau, a big hit. Ambitious effort, but execution wasn't quite there for him. Connolly, big top spinning serve. Elliott got enough on it.
Hall's point. It'll be Hall's service. Don's here a little bit confused in the call. I believe they were called for touching the net.
Moore, huge hit. Lavelle and Ball not able to get the block together.
Don's again up by 3. Rogers on the service.
Cohen checks out. Mosebauer back in. Service from Rogers long. 10-8. Webb off the service from Gardner, sets up Mosebauer. Blast that one down. Don's point.
Big hit, and Don's up by 3 again, 11-8.
Dorsey serve. Doesn't quite have the height to clear the net.
Could be some showing of fatigue here.
And if I have to say the Dons have not made as many mistakes as Calvert Hall, but they have to be careful not to let their form slip as emotions rise here in this fourth set. Dorsey. Loyola's point. More to serve. And let's take a moment to admire that huge student section there, Jay. A lot of students come out here for the rivalry game. More serve, well long though.
Yeah, seeing both these student sections showing a lot of impact in the game. Incredibly loud, incredibly focused on trying to disrupt the other team.
Mosebauer softly over. Connolly sets it up now. Dorsey. Mosebauer tries the same play again. And Rogers tipped it. Moore was dashing back to try and keep it in play.
See a slight delay here. Get that court wiped up.
Lavelle with the service, the senior. Long set across the court. Connolly, that one's out.
All tied up now at 12. We're back even again. This game's been back and forth for all 4 sets.
Dorsey might have gotten away with one there. Lavelle now. Rogers sliding across the court. Can't get to it. Good hustle play from him.
We're now halfway through the set. And we will see a timeout.
Timeout from Coach Baer. So Jay, currently the score 13-12 Calvert Hall. Don's lead 2-1. However, what does Loyola need to do to close it out in this 4th set?
Well, for this 4th set, we do need to see some momentum shift. We've seen kind of back and forth for these last 4 sets, but we did see in the first 2 that the Dons were able to get some points going there near the end, and were able to just kind of get some momentum shift in their favor. But in that last set that we saw, it just wasn't able to happen there. So we need to see that again, is what we need to see. We need to see just like the first game, first 2 sets.
Mm-hmm. Right, and as you've seen in all 4 sets, Jay, though, the first, we've seen first through about, it's been back and forth until the very end of the few sets. So once again, it's a cagey 4th set with neither team able to grab hold of a big lead, and it's really to come down to the fundamentals. Now, which team can perform better under the pressure? Because as you know, if the Cardinals win this set, it'll go to a 5th set tiebreaker, and that is something the Dons certainly are not going to want.
And seeing these tiebreakers is something that you don't want if you're in the Don situation, just because you went up by 2, you had the full momentum shift, and then now you're starting to get fatigued, you're starting to get tired. Both these teams fighting for it all. Right.
And the tiebreakers will certainly bring back nightmares for Loyola of 2 years ago when they lost to Mount St. They had an undefeated season, I believe. They were the number 1 seed going to the playoffs, won the first 2 sets against Mount St. Joe, then dropped the last 2. Great play by Tommy Rogers there. It's a great point by the Dons, reinvigorated, 13 apiece. As I was saying, in that fateful playoff game, the Dons, in fact, lost the last 3 sets to Mount St. Joe to knock them out of the playoffs. And obviously last year they lost to Gilman in the championship. So this Dons team is certainly hunting for a championship. Certainly we're in the mix the last 2 years. They will look to be in the mix once again this year. And this game is a huge part of that. Potential, that one's just out. This is a potential playoff preview. As you know, currently the Dons sitting at number 2 in the standings, Calvert Hall at number 3. And the top 4 teams do make the playoffs. So these teams could face off again here in not too long from now.
Yeah,
if the standings stay as they are.
Both these teams in the standings, Loyola just ahead of Calvert Hall. This tiebreaker definitely will play a factor in this game, because both these teams being so close in the standings, their only opponent right now is Mount St. Joe for these teams to get number 1.
Right.
So
two-time champion, the 2-time defending champion currently Gilman is sitting at 4th, somewhat lackluster 6-4 this year. However, coming out of the timeout, Loyola has shown new energy. Saw that first point whole bench getting up.
And we do see a lot of energy here from the Dons.
Dorsey setting it, Cohen over. Lavelle looking for Gaudreau.
Rogers, bump.
Connolly looked like he just misjudged where the net was in that instance. He was trying to put that one just over top of the net and put it down on top of Calvert Hall.
And we're back even now in the second half of the set. We'll see when this momentum shift decides to kick in. Both these teams looking very close.
Right, 15th apiece here in this 4th set. And that one's tipped to the net by Huffman. Calvert Hall back in the lead, and points have been coming in piecemeal this whole match for both teams.
neither team able to find any sort of space here. Both teams getting either 2 to 3 points apiece and then just flipping that momentum back and forth.
Right. The largest lead we've seen all game has been when Loyola won that first set 25-19. But then, as you've seen, both teams have sort of pulled away at the ends of sets. But in all 3 sets that have been played here tonight, neither team has led by more than 2 points here in this mid sort of area, this mid set. As Gaudreau's now over, Connolly, Monahan sets it up. Cohen soft with the right hand. Huffman, Calvert Hall's point, is tipped at the net by Connolly. Webb, Monahan up, Connolly. He'll try again. But this time it's blocked down. And now Calvert Hall takes a 2-point lead here as we start closing toward the end game of this 4th set.
Yeah, seeing them up 18-16, something that the Dons really want to change.
Droney over. It's out. Great judgment call there by number 2, Jack Webb, the junior, just letting it float long. Connolly once again, the toss-spinning serve. Elliott hindered but not. Hoffman slams it home. Rogers couldn't corral it.
And we've seen Calvert Hall try and abuse those corners as the middle of the court kind of got closed off with changing formation.
Right, the Dons are running a little 3-and-3 here. Calvert Hall did a little switch to a 2-3-1. Now Cohen up at the center. Don's point. They get one back. And what's coming down to be a crucial few points. Crucial last few points of this 4th set. Rogers to serve.
So you see the section getting to you too, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Monahan. Great hustle play by Monahan, diving into the bleachers. Rogers over, he's back in play. What a hustle play by number 7, Dylan Monahan. Lavelle, balled. It's still in play here. And Monahan tries to get the block. He couldn't quite do it, limping slightly. Monahan went reeling into the bleachers at full, he went careening into those bleachers at full speed. But Monahan couldn't quite get the block there. Hopefully he's uninjured. Looked like he hit that right leg pretty hard in the shin. That's got to hurt. And I'm sure he'll be feeling that one tomorrow. In the moment, though, I'm not sure he's feeling anything. This place is charged with adrenaline. Both student sections getting into it. 2018 Hall leads here in this 4th set. Mosbauer with the left. Hall keeps it up. Great play there by the Cardinals. But, yeah, Coach Bayer makes the call. He wants it. Don's point. And the energy in the last 8 points has ramped up to an intensity as yet unseen here tonight. We are getting into crunch time here, Jay. This is where we really see what teams are made of. This is
absolutely
fascinating stuff here being played out of Loyola Blakefield tonight.
It feels like a college basketball game with the amount of energy here right now.
Right. We see a slight deflation in the tension here. We get that towel up. We just saw that great hustle play by Monahan to make that block. Keep that one in. And as you can see, these players are doing everything they can to keep these points going. Dorsey with the serve. Lavelle. And Lavelle, too, couldn't quite get the set for Bald. Wasn't able to get to it. We're tied up at 20 apiece.
And now we're back tied. And this will be these last 5 points for both these teams will be.
Don's shouting about fundamentals here. Dorsey with the serve. Gardner, Hall point. Mosbauer and Cohen were not able to get the block there from Elliott. 21-20, Michael Green to serve number 8, the libero for Calvert Hall.
And we saw Green in I believe the first set was the momentum shift that the Hall needed.
More good judgment there. Dorsey will set it up. Mosbauer down. That's in. Great kill there from Kirk Mosbauer, the senior captain, bringing his authority to bear on the hardwood for the Dons.
Back even 21. This fourth set is seeing the most emotion we've seen in this entire game.
Now 21 all, more with the service.
Green with the turn.
Lavelle, Elliott, Rogers blocks it up. It's past the line though. Cummings wasn't able to get to it. Good effort there by Rogers trying to soften that hit. (22-21). Huge point here with Patrick Lavelle, number 18, the senior for Calvert Hall, to serve. Rogers. Dorsey bumps it up. Mosbauer. Rogers is over on the block. Both teams up for it. Coach Bear wants one over the net. Lavelle will set it back up. Huffman. Dorsey. Whistle's blown. Calvert Hall's point. Coach Bear wants an explanation.
I believe it might have been Nick Cummins.
No, the referee signal number 4, Michael Dorsey. Some confusion as to the call. Coach Bear unhappy with the explanation he's been given. What matters, the point to Calvert Hall, 23-21. Hall dangerously close to forcing a tiebreaker here.
I believe there's some confusion there because multiple people went up for that block, and they might have just called Dorsey for touching the net.
It is Lavelle once again to serve. The Loyola linesman signals it's out. Calvert Hall student section goes ballistic. They clearly think that was in. And the Loyola
view in the corner, it did look out. So
I can say it did look out to me as well. Obviously, they were worried about some bias. The lineman being a Loyola JV player. Now Lavelle, Huffman over, tipped at the line. Mosbauer lays out for it. Cummings keeps it in. It's over the net just. Now Green keeps it in. It's Lavelle setting up for Huffman softly with the right hand. Dorsey, Connolly from nearly past the antenna. Keeps it in for a big point. Huffman over, and it's in for Calvert Hall. Set point for Calvert Hall. Huge point for the Cardinals. (24-22) set point for the Cardinals. If they get this point here, it would force the 5th set tiebreaker. Number 16, Jack Elliott to serve for Calvert Hall. Dons are ready for the service.
A lot of emotion this last point.
A lot of noise. Elliott over, tips off the net, a little bit of confusion. Connolly able to corral it. Now Dorsey back to Connolly. It's blocked down, and Calvert Hall wins the 4th set, 25-22. We are going to a tiebreaker, folks.
The block is called out.
Excuse me, we're not going to tiebreaker. Second life here for the Dons in the 4th set. 24-23, Calvert Hall leads.
Side judge called the block out, and we will see Dons.
We are going to have a timeout here. We're going to stay with you here. 24-23. It's a thriller here at Loyola Blakefield. Jay, just tell us, what's the atmosphere like?
It's incredibly loud here. It does, in fact, even though these student sections are big for the match, it feels like a college basketball game with how loud it is with the acoustics in here. I can barely hear myself think right now, honestly. Even during this timeout, these student sections going back and forth, just like the game has gone so far.
All right, these sets are win by 2, so the Dons get another point. They would now level the scoreline at 24 apiece. At this point, this is a must-win point here for the Dons. Jack Webb to serve. It's a thrilling game here in Towson, Jay. 4th set, 24-23, the Hall leads. Loyola to serve. Must win this point. For the Hall, this point if they win this point, it will force a 5th set tiebreaker. Webb with a serve. Lavelle sets it up. Gaudreau. Hall wins the point. We are going to a 5th set tiebreaker. Calvert Hall wins the 5th set, 25-23. Calvert Hall won Calvert, as we referee blowing the whistle violently here to calm things down. We're going to a 5th set. Folks, we are going to the 5th set. So just to recap, Jake, can you give us a little recap of what we've seen here so far?
So far we've seen a back and forth with a slight momentum shift in all 4 sets. All 4 sets going within 6 points. And so far we've seen that the first 2 sets went in the Don's favor, last 2 sets went in Calvert Hall's favor.
All right, folks. We're actually going to take a 3-minute break here as we get ready for this 5th set. We'll be right back to you with all the action. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss this thriller of a game. Matt Smolka, Jay Petoskey will be right back for this 5th tie-breaking set of varsity volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Loyola Blakefield in Towson, Maryland for this thriller of a game. Loyola Blakefield, Calvert Hall, huge rivalry match. We're coming down to the 5th tie-breaking set, 1st to 15, win by 2. With a big playoff implications on the line. Loyola Blakefield currently 2nd place in the MIAA, 8-1. Calvert Hall 3rd place at 8-2. The Dons did win their first matchup 3-1 at Calvert Hall. This is going to go to a 5th and tie-breaking set. Number 4, Michael Dorsey to serve here for the Dons. Get this 5th set started. Dons won the first 2 sets. Calvert Hall has won the last 2. Momentum is in the favor of the Cardinals. Dons want to close it out here in Towson. Lavelle balled off the net. And Calvert Hall wins the first point. That's a crucial first point here. As you know, Jay, this is a shortened tiebreaker set. It's 1st to 15, not just 25.
Yep, 1st to 15 here in this tiebreaker set. And especially that plays a huge impact just because of how tired both these teams probably are. They are playing with a lot of adrenaline here in this rivalry. So
Dorsey sets it up for Cummings. And the block by Lavelle is in. 2-0 Calvert Hall. Service was not quite where Cummings wanted it. He didn't quite get the angle of elevation that he needed to hit that one over. Moore. Dorsey will set it up. Cummings tries again. It's off the net. Dons keep it in. Droney. Lavelle. Up. Elliott. Loyola's point. Calvert Hall furious. I think the question is whether it touched Calvert Hall. See number 18, Patrick Loyola, is appealing to the head official.
I believe they're trying to say that on the block, someone on the Dons might have touched it as it went over, making it so that when it spiraled out.
Right, so I think, on the block, I think what the call here would be is that if it did not touch a Calvert Hall player, it sort of rolled along the net and dropped out. The referee called a hit off a Calvert Hall player and went out. In that case, it would be the Loyola's point. The referee's explaining to Calvert Hall here. Clearly unhappiness here from the Cardinals with that call. Personally, I thought the Dons might have gotten away with one. I don't think Calvert Hall touched it. But nevertheless, their point and miscommunication is the result, 2-2.
And set even now. You'll see more with the service.
More service. I think it would have dropped in. Now Droney. Elliott over. Mosbauer. Dorsey running under to set it. Connolly. Good job to go for Ackes rather than power. Lavelle tips it over. Don's point. Yep, you can see Calvert Hall head coach Ryan McDowell telling his team to stay back. That might have been Calvert Hall infraction for touching the net there. And this gymnasium is absolutely filled here. We got the huge Loyola student section, Calvert Hall student section. Lots of parents. And that's a misplay from Jack Elliott. Dons now won the last 4 points. Momentum has shifted back in favor of the Dons. Timeout, Calvert Hall. Dons have the energy here. We'll stay with you, though, folks. Only a minute to go. As I was saying, though, Jay, you have people watching in the windows of the conference room above the gym. Dons student section is pretty rabid right now.
Those conference windows do look full right now, too, as we see a full gymnasium as well as people watching up there.
Right. Obviously not just the traditional rivalry, Loyola and Calvert Hall, but these two teams have also formed a specific rivalry for volleyball. Both teams have had strong volleyball programs in the last few years. So this one's a big clash of the Titans here at Loyola. And obviously you have the added little implication that Calvert Hall is looking for some revenge after getting beaten out of their home gym 3-1 in the season opener.
Yeah, seeing this momentum shift here in the Dons' favor in this last set, something you like to see, just because both these teams have been so tired in the past and have shown their fatigue in the last 2 sets. And with Hall winning both of them, we'll see how this momentum plays, just because it could go any way at this point. Seeing how tired both these teams are is something that plays a huge factor into whether or not this game will go either which way.
We'll see a short pause before resuming play. Calvert Hall head coach Ryan McDowell having just some words with that official. More to serve. It is out.
Don's still up by 1. Atmosphere here in the gym, very loud.
Lavelle, senior serve. Miscommunication. Dorsey let it go. Moore wasn't quite ready for it. Calvert Hall levels the score. And in terms of lead changes within sets, Jay, I don't think there's been any set that's gone by without 15 or 20 lead changes.
Yes.
Rogers, that one's going to be too far over the net. Elliott hits it straight down. Calvert Hall back in the lead. Momentum shifted back in the Cardinals' favor.
We've seen so many back and forths here in all 5 of these sets.
So Calvert Hall has won the first 2 points of this tiebreaker. Loyola the next 4. Now Calvert Hall the most recent 3. Pat Lavelle once again to serve. Rogers, Dorsey sets it up. Mosbauer tries to tip it. Tries to slam it. It's out.
We haven't seen a huge lead in the beginning of any set except for the first one, where we saw a 9-3 lead in the Dons' favor.
And as you know, Jay, this final tiebreaker set is to 15, so Dons do not have as much time to make a comeback. They need a point. You don't want to give Calvert Hall a 3-point lead here in this tie-breaking set. Rogers, Dorsey, Mosbauer, great play to tip it down. Lavelle can't quite knock it back up despite great dive for it. Great effort there from the Calvert Hall senior.
We'll see Mosbauer set up for the service in the 6-5 game.
Sherman, blocked out. Huffman, big hit. Hall point ties it up once again. Oh, excuse me, puts the Hall up 2. Charged atmosphere here in the Loyola gym with number 16, Jack Elliott, to serve for the Calvert Hall. Elliott, Connolly trying to corral that serve. Dorsey back to Connolly. Good hit there. Calvert Hall's able to return. Huffman, soft set. Now Dorsey. Rogers. Moore from back.
Back to Elliott. Lavelle.
Gaudreau, the big hit. Hall 3-point lead in this 5th set. Timeout Loyola. Jay, the Dons need to turn it around.
Yeah, seeing this set go down 8-5 so far. And with this timeout, we'll see how this momentum shifts. If it does at all, it seems like it's so far in this 5th and final set has been completely dominated by Calvert Hall, excuse me.
Right, and that momentum shift really came in that 3rd set. The Dons won the first 2 sets, Jay, but they're at risk of dropping 3 in a row. As you know, just to recap, the Dons won the first 2 sets, 25-19 and 25-20. Then Calvert Hall has won the last 2 sets, 25-22, 25-23. So every set's been closely fought. But now here in the tiebreaker, it's only to 15. Calvert Hall is an 8-5 lead. They need 7 more points. The Dons need 10. It is won by 2. But Calvert Hall has momentum, and that momentum has been shifting since about the 3rd set. When Calvert Hall sort of got into a groove, and the Dons have been struggling. Not struggling isn't really the right word, but Calvert Hall has just played a very, very tad bit better than the Dons.
Yeah, definitely struggling is not necessarily the term here. It does seem, if you're looking outside in, that it would be struggling. However, it seems more just fatigue and not necessarily that. As Cardinals get another point, and as I was saying, it doesn't necessarily seem that they're struggling as per they're just getting a little bit more tired than the Cardinals are, seeing this 5th and final set go back into the Cardinals' favor.
And part of that is now with the momentum, the Cardinals have all the adrenaline, all the energy. Dons a little bit on the back foot. They need a point here desperately. They do not want to go down 10-5 in the set to 15. Connolly off the tip. Lavelle keeps it up. Huffman will bump it up.
And you see Lavelle slowing it down.
And Cohen, big hit there for the Dons.
And a big point for the Dons as well.
Right, stops the bleeding now. 9-6, Dons will have the serve. They need to get something going here, Jay, because if things sort of continue with this, one point back and forth, Dons are just going to run out of points to give in the set. So Dons need to come on a little 3 or 4 point run here, and they need it to happen soon. Jack Webb could be the catalyst here. Green. Now Lavelle. Gaudreau and Monahan and Cohen together at that right side of the net.
A huge block there. We will see Webb again with another service.
Yeah, the little junior-senior combo, not fooled by Gaudreau's little soft hit. Webb put it down to the 1, potentially on the service into the net. It's low. He's clenching his fist at that one. That's a big point, Jay. Big mistake from the Dons. Unforced error. You sort of saw early in those first couple of sets, Calvert Hall with more unforced errors than the Dons. However, Loyola in the last couple of sets, you sort of seen that faltered just slightly on the fundamentals. As Downs serve, Monahan try to go right back over the net. Cohen, that was tipped. It was tipped. Clearly tipped. Calvert Hall student section complaining about that one. There have been some 50-50 calls that have gone both ways, to be fair, but Calvert Hall, in that case, it was clear from where we're standing that ball was tipped. 8-10, Connolly serve.
Definitely a lot of 50-50 calls.
Good play by Huffman to keep that one
a little bit
on the right side of the antenna.
Miscommunication there.
And that'll be
now 11-8 for the Hall.
Yeah, so the referee explaining that was 4 times hit by the Dons. I'm not sure that, well, that may have been the case. I was not paying close attention to that facet of the game. Either way, Calvert holds an 11-8 lead. Things looking grim for the Dons here. They need to pull something out. More. Big block, it's out. Dons point, pulls them back within 2.
And 11-9 here for the Hall. We'll see Rogers with the service. Loyola again with a big point. They're able to get the points when it counts.
Bell trying to tip it over. Dons now have the initiative. Monahan sets it up. Mosbauer. Elliott got a hand to it. The Hall will be able to keep it in. Oh no, Elliott into the net. He couldn't quite judge where the net was. Perhaps Dons pull back within 1, 11-10. First to 15 in this 5th set, Jay.
And we will see it close back up.
Now Rogers on the serve. Right into the arms of Green. Lavelle sets it up. Gaudreau. Big hit. That was Connolly sliding all the way down to that far corner for it. Couldn't get to it. 12-10. First to 15, Jay. First to 15 in this 5th tiebreaker set.
There's so much pressure here in this final set, in these final few points.
Calvert service. Mosbauer, it was tipped. It's in anyways. Don's point.
Don's point. Gardner just playing a little bit too close off that service. Trying to get in that position where he can back up his front line. Just not able to get back enough to play that return.
Michael Dorsey to serve. Point here for the Dons would tie it up at 12 apiece. Point for Calvert Hall would put them within 2 of the match. Set from Gardner. Lavelle bumping it up. Elliott over. The Dons make something of this. Dorsey. Mosbauer down. Great shot by Kirk Mosbauer. Great kill by Kirk Mosbauer. 12-12. Dons have tied it. They were down by 3 in this 5th set. They've come roaring back.
They were down by 4. They were down by 4 in this 5th set. They were down 9-5.
That's right.
They brought it all the way back to 12 apiece.
It's a thriller here. Every point counts now. Elliott blocked by by Cummings at the net. One more time. Elliott blocked again, and the Dons 13-12 lead.
They've completely flipped it here.
Timeout. Calvert Hall. Dons 13-12 lead in this 5th set. Jay, what a fantastic performance here. The Dons have turned it up when it matters. Huge blocks at the net. 2 huge blocks at the net in that last point.
Back-to-back amazing blocks there.
And the Dons have simply been playing in the last few points. Jay, the Dons have not buckled at all under the pressure. They come with the big points where it counts. Question is, can they close it out? It is win by 2 in this final set. But if the Dons can get 1 or 2 more points, 2 more points, that will not matter. They have the serve, and if they could get a win here, it would certainly break the hearts of many a Cardinal here today. As the Cardinals obviously won the last 2 sets. Dons look like they might be headed on to another 3-0 win. However, the Hall is trying to get back some energy. Student section cheering them on. It is intense here, Jay. The atmosphere, it's certainly gotten to be right around that 4th set. You sort of sense a change in the atmosphere, really charged in here.
And we are hearing both these student sections. Dons deciding to go with a chant here at the end of this timeout.
13-12, 5th set, win by 2. Michael Dorsey to serve. 2 more points, wins it for the Dons. Dorsey on the serve. Gardner bumps it up. Lavelle sets it. Elliott softly over. Dorsey. Rogers. Connolly, a big hit. Off the basketball hoop. They'll play it. Unfortunate, it's off the basketball hoop. Dorsey, will it matter? Cummings, it's out. And that is real unfortunate. The big hit was deflected off the basketball hoop. Connolly and Mosbauer both complaining. I had believed the rules that you play it as it lies. So basically, if it hits the roof, you play it as it's in. We saw that earlier with one off the roof.
Yeah, that was with that ruling off the roof. I don't believe that ruling stands for those basketball hoops.
Based on the Loyola players' reactions, they clearly they think that anything sort of the roof isn't played, the basketball hoops are not. But I don't think they're going to get the point.
The basketball hoops are out, so I don't see how they would count that as staying in.
Either way, unfortunate, robs the Dons of a point there.
And you can see that the Calvert Hall coach is lining up. He's saying that that was in based off the fact that the hoop
13, Michael Green to serve. Huge point. Rogers. Dorsey. Mosbauer softly. Lavelle will keep it up. Green's over. Connolly. Now Dorsey. Cummings. Blocked by Lavelle.
Cummings again.
Don's another chance. Dorsey back over on the far side. Moore off the net. Green lays out. What a great play by Green. Keeps it up. Now Rogers. Dorsey. Mosbauer. It's up once more. Teams at the net.
Who touched?
Calvert Hall point. Calvert Hall point. Don may have touched the net. It's match point Calvert Hall. 14-13. Timeout Loyola. Jay, this has been a very unfortunate turn of events here. All on one basketball hoop, which now instead of that score being 14-12, it's now 13-13, now 13-14 Calvert Hall. So
that hoop is now shaking with the it's sat right above the Calvert Hall section, and they are now jumping and is currently shaking.
Right, so Calvert Hall section, a lot to cheer about. The Dons, this is a must-win point, Jay. They need to win this point, or else they will suffer their first loss since losing to Mount St. Joe in just the second game of the season. And not only that, but this, with a win here, Calvert Hall would overtake Loyola in the standings. That could be crucial when it comes to playoff time, because that means the home, this is a potential 2 versus 3 matchup. That means that first round of the playoffs, that semifinal match, only 14 make the playoffs, mind you, would be played at Calvert Hall instead of here at Loyola. 14-13, Michael Green to serve.
And this game does lie in the momentum shift.
Rogers bumping it up. Dorsey to keep it in it. Mosbauer. Michael Green, great stop.
Jack Elliott.
It's out. Elliott.
We're back
too much on it. Calvert Hall wants a tip. I don't believe it was tipped. 14 apiece. It is win by 2. So Elliott perhaps a bit of adrenaline there. Gardner nearly up. Elliott keeps it up. Rogers. Connolly. It's blocked. Calvert Hall's point. Back to match point for Calvert Hall. Good play here from the Cardinals.
And the noise here.
Huffman will check in for Droney for the Cardinals. Don staying with the same 6. Connolly, Rogers, Moore, Dorsey, Cummings, and Mosbauer for the match. Lavelle with the service. Connolly. Dorsey setting it. Mosbauer softly over. Calvert Hall. The chance to win it. And that's me a double touch. Calvert Hall's bench fuming. 15 apiece again. It's no win by 2. First to 15, win by 2. Don's student section going crazy in that corner. Mosbauer to serve. Just over the net. Green bumping it up. Lavelle. Now over. Hoffman with a big stop. And Don gets the block. Oh, excuse me. No, the ball came down on Loyola side of the net. It's Calvert Hall's point.
It will be Hall's point. That block did come out of bounds.
It looked to us that it was a clean block. However, it got blocked under the net. Calvert Hall again with a match point. This time it's number 16, Jack Elliott, to serve for the Cardinals. Dons need to stop once again. Moore bumping it. Now Dorsey. Connolly. Big hit. James Connolly. What a play.
All tied up at 16 now.
And James Connolly, that may have been the hardest hit ball I've seen all night. James Connolly bringing all that adrenaline force to bear, just whipping it down into the Calvert Hall section. Completely unstoppable there. Elliott couldn't do anything except get an arm to it. 16 apiece once again. Jack Webb now to serve. Oh, man, I'm shivering here, Jay. This is intense. Green. Lavelle. Soft by Gaudreau. Moore keeps it in. Now Webb over. Calvert Hall has the initiative, though. And Huffman. Good little placement shot at the palm of the hand. Calvert Hall's match point again. This is their 3rd or 4th match point. That's number 4, Luke Downs to serve for Calvert Hall.
And we see that fatigue is completely gone now with all this adrenaline.
Downs to serve. Little Muckler to that left side. Connolly tips it over. Lavelle. Calvert's going to get a good hit here. Gaudreau, no, now Webb. Monahan over with the left hand. Great play from Dylan Monahan.
Back even
Same
again.
play he's been doing all night. That time it worked, caught Calvert off guard. They're waiting for that little set to Cohen. Monahan does a little turn with the left hand down. Calvert completely did not expect that.
Cohen and Monahan are working like clockwork here.
Now here's Connolly. Ball with a big hit. Webb keeps it up. It's off the net. Now Monahan. Moore going to that back corner. Green gets a set. Lavelle, far side, Gaudreau. It's in. Great kill there from Gaudreau. Don's parents thought it was out. To his credit, Loyola linesman motions for the in, the flag down. 18-17, Calvert Hall, their 5th match point. Droney once again on the serve. 18-17. It's long. 18-18. 18-18 in a set to 15, Jay. Win by 2. This is absolutely, this is really unbelievable here. What turned into what looked like could be a 3-0 win for the Dons has turned into an instant classic here at Loyola Blakefield. Lavelle balled, and that's another point for Calvert Hall. Loyola just can't seem to pull ahead by 1. They always go down by 1. 19-18. Connolly once again speaking with the official. Now it'll be Justin Gardner's serve. Gardner on the serve. Webb. Monahan up. The block. Dorsey keeps it in. Good play here from the Dons. Mosbauer with the left hand. Nope. It's Droney. Lavelle. Far side set. Elliott. It's blocked down. Don's point. Don's point. Calvert Hall is fuming. Calvert Hall is furious. The referee. We're waiting for an explanation. There was a long pause.
I believe the FAR judge said it went off of Jack Elliott's head as it went out.
There was a long pause in between that call, and my heart at least was in my throat there as I waited for that one. 19-19 here. Dorsey to serve. Gardner. Lavelle sets it up. That time it's Calvert Hall. Once again, they go up by 1 match point. The 6th or 7th of this tiebreaker set to 15, win by 2. Michael Green to serve for Calvert Hall.
And it looks like on these beginning of these points that Calvert Hall just gets the initiative.
Rogers now. Mosbauer, Don's little miscommunication. You'll like to see that and more. It's into the net. And Calvert Hall has won 21-9. Calvert Hall wins in 5 sets. It does go to the 5th set. Loyola, the final score is 19. Dons won the first 2 sets, 25-19, 25-20. To their credit, the Cardinals came roaring back. They win the 3rd sets, 25-22. 4th set, 25-23. The final tiebreaker set to 15. The Calvert Hall will win 21-19. So heartbreak here for the Dons in Loyola in what was a great game.
Yeah, an absolute amazing
Calvert
game
Hall
here.
will now pass Loyola in the standings to go to 2nd place in the MIAA. Loyola now falls to 3rd with a heartbreaking defeat as Calvert Hall students now on the court. And Jay, that's a brutal loss to the Dons. The Dons had won 18 consecutive sets coming into this game, but now Calvert Hall breaks a streak, as well as and they've now moved to a 7-game win streak and end the Dons' 6-game win streak themselves. So Jay, very unfortunate here. Wow.
Yeah, a huge game here just goes in favor of the Cardinals as they make an amazing comeback.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in to us here. The final score, Calvert Hall wins. It does all go down with a tiebreaker set. But folks, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned here. Our next stream will be on Tuesday. We varsity soccer hosts St. Paul's at 4 o'clock, so you can tune into that. And as you know, we will be trying to broadcast all MIAA varsity playoff games this fall. So stay tuned as we're coming down to the end of these regular seasons. We still have plenty of postseason action to come, and I would not be surprised to see Loyola Calvert Hall volleyball in the postseason.
Yeah, definitely going to see these teams again as Calvert Hall goes up to 9-2 and Loyola falls to 7-2. We probably will see these teams face off in the MIAA playoffs.
Yeah, folks. But once again, thank you for tuning in. Matt and Jay Petoskey. You can follow us on Tuesday, and thanks for tuning into this one.